Doug Kite here for Nesson.com with Zach Cox at New Era Field, where the Patriots pretty much trounced the Bills 23-3. First half was a lot closer than the second half when the Patriots offense finally came alive. But overall, I mean, it wasn't the prettiest performance by the Patriots, but when they're able to churn out these 20-point wins, despite some struggles, despite some mistakes, it says a lot about how good this football team is playing right now.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, a game where Tom Brady didn't throw a touchdown pass and the team still is able to win by 20 points. You have a Bills team that was able to gain some yardage at times. I mean, they drove the ball all the way down to basically the goal line on their first drive of the game. They did the same thing later in the fourth quarter. One of those ended with an interception. One of those ended with a pass breakup in the end zone. You like to see a defense that can kind of stiffen up at those times, which a lot of the great Patriots defenses of years past have been able to do, and they allowed 3 points in this game. They haven't allowed more than 17 since week 4. The defense is rolling right now. Rob Gronkowski is rolling, except for one little instance that I'm sure we'll get to in a second. Running game is rolling. It was a pretty solid win for the Patriots.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple of former Bills really stood out in this game. Eric Lee, the guy the Patriots signed off the Bills practice squad last week, had a sack, had a pass breakup, had an interception, had a quarterback hit. He really had a monster game out there, helping to fill in for Trey Flowers. And Stephon Gilmore, Devin McCourty really seemed convinced that the Bills were trying to specifically score on Stephon Gilmore late in the fourth quarter when they did get near the goal line. Gilmore had 2 pass breakups, another incompletion that he forced there on that goal line stand where they did not allow the Bills to get into the end zone. Yep. So asked Duron Harmon about that, and Harmon said, let them keep throwing at him. He's one of the best cover corners in the NFL, one of the best man cover corners in the NFL. So good things tend to happen when you target Stephon Gilmore for the Patriots here, and that really has been the case over the last few weeks. He's been tremendous for the Patriots. Didn't allow a touchdown this game, allowed, I think, about 20 yards, and really an overall good performance from the Patriots defense. Run defense struggled a little bit, but passing defense was really on point all game.
Yeah, I mean, Stephon Gilmore, I feel like we say every week that this might have been his best game of the season, but again today this might have been his best game of the season. Like you said, he had those 2 pass breakups in the end zone, which the game was pretty much out of hand by that point, but you could tell that they were really trying to go after him. They targeted him a lot in this game, and he really didn't give up much of anything. This is exactly, I think, what the Patriots expected from Stephon Gilmore when they got him. Took a little long for it to show up, but over the last month or so, he has been fantastic. Yeah,
they've really just been kind of matching him up on one receiver, and it continues to work, so that's all good things for the Patriots. That Rob Gronkowski play that you alluded to earlier, so he was getting held quite a bit in this game, getting pass interfered with, and Tom Brady threw his lone interception when Gronk was getting interfered with down the field. But Bills cornerback Tre'davious White intercepted the ball, landed out of bounds, was laying on the field. Rob Gronkowski basically gave him an elbow drop on the back of the helmet. And White is being evaluated for a head injury. We're not sure where that stands at this point, but and if that winds up being a concussion for Tre'davious White based off a post-play action by Rob Gronkowski that was really regrettable, that's a really bad look for the Patriots tight end. And obviously you get frustrated in football games, but I'm stating the obvious here. I thought there's no excuse for those types of actions. Some Patriots fans seem to disagree with that a little bit. But, could be a suspension looming for Gronk? You really don't know on this
one. It could be a suspension. It's probably at least going to be a fine. And, I mean, if the game was closer in that instance and kind of some of the extracurriculars afterward didn't occur, that could have been a big play for the Patriots. I mean, Rob Gronkowski had a terrific game. I mean, he always plays well here, but he had, I believe it was 147 receiving yards that he finished with. His best game here, even though he always seems to play well in his hometown. But yeah, those are really just a dumb play by Rob Gronkowski. We don't usually see those kind of. I mean, he's a very kind of, I don't know what the exact word. He's a passionate player, but you don't usually see it kind of bleed over into those after the whistle extracurriculars. So for the Patriots' sake, you hope that he doesn't get suspended. But if White does end up having a concussion, it would kind of be warranted.
Yeah, and it really only takes one play like this to get that reputation as being a dirty player. We've seen it with Ndamukong Suh when he's done some of this stuff, Vontaze Burfict, and then once you have that reputation for being a dirty player, then some of this stuff gets called on you a little bit more, and then the ejections come and the suspensions come. So Gronkowski was apologetic after the game about it, but he also did mention that there were 3-4 penalties called on him, very few called on the Bills in this game, so he was definitely frustrated about that. But still no excuse to basically perform a wrestling move on a guy when he's down on the ground, because there are real consequences in real life, unlike in pro wrestling. So I think that will do it here for us at New Era Field. Another big win for the Patriots. They are seriously rolling. That's 8 straight wins for them. Another road win. I think that's 14 in a row at this point.
I believe so, yeah.
It's a good things happening for this Patriots team down the stretch. So that'll do it for us for Nesson.com. I'm really struggling here at the end. Follow Zach on Twitter at ZachHawksNesson. Follow me on Twitter at Doug Kite. And keep it on NESN.com for all of our post-game coverage.